Natalie Garland grinned as the early morning breeze whirled through the car windows, fluttering her hair and filling her lungs with the crisp pine scent. Cruising down the shadowed highway with the first hints of sunlight outlining peaks and dips in the mountainous horizon, she remembered what life was like before. The person she had been, but more so, who she still was, even now. She belted the next line in time with Kelly Clarkson. "What doesn't thrill you makes you wronger." She'd loved this damn song as a kid. Granted, along with her middle school bestie, she'd taken some creative liberties with the lyrics, but she still loved it. Their changes only made the tune more sentimental. That was one of the best discoveries she'd made as she'd crawled out of the hell her life had nosedived into 2 years ago, following a horrid series of heartbreaks. Natalie had realized that she was still Natalie, despite everything she'd lived through. She'd always been a bit wild, independent. There hadn't been many boring moments growing up because Natalie found adventure everywhere. It was nice to know that all her personal devastation hadn't wiped that girl away. She was altered, she could admit, but essentially the same. And as cheesy as the cliché was, what hadn't killed her truly had made her stronger. As Natalie sped past an ancient green road sign announcing Rutshire, the weight of the world lessened a little bit more. She was a mere few miles away from home, and the pain that had accompanied her when she fled the confines of that tiny Virginia town was no longer her constant companion. She wanted to be here. She'd chosen to come here. She was ready to face the ghosts of her past, ready to face her family again, ready to move forward. Bring, 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 bring. Grabbing her phone from the passenger's seat, she took her eyes off the road for a second to glance at the screen. Bradley was calling. Of course. Bradley Garland, her cousin and city councilman of the mighty blip on the map that was Rutshire, had always been an early riser. She'd never understood his affinity for mornings when they were younger. She understood it now. Mornings had become her favorite part of the day over the past couple years. Viewing the sunrise had transformed into a sacred experience she felt deeply honored to witness. Learning to appreciate the grandeur of the ordinary had been a paramount part of her recovery from the drugs and alcohol she'd struggled with so terribly. Nature had helped release her from the postpartum depression that had seized her by the neck following her miscarriage. Natalie tapped the speaker button. 4:58 in the morning? Why am I not surprised? Bradley's laugh filled the car. Early bird catches the worm, dear cousin. It was so good to laugh in response. For some reason, that fact never held much sway with me. Yeah, you have a point. Morning's got a little shafted on the slogans. But look at you, up and at 'em with the best of us. Natalie rolled her eyes as she steered the car to hug a curve in the road. As a former night owl, I resent that remark. Sorry, Nat. Your vampire license has been revoked. Bradley delivered the news in a solemn voice. She liked that sentiment. Nothing good had happened after the sun went down over the past 2 years. Far too many old and destructive habits were easier kept in the dark of the night. Every addict knew that. So, Bradley cleared his throat. You were on the road? Just like we talked about? Her headlights illuminated the thick tree lines to her left and right, which were just beginning to show the varying shades of July in the dim light. Just like we talked about, she confirmed. Almost to the falls, actually. Going to catch the sunrise from my favorite peak before I head into town. Bradley gasped in feigned indignity. How many times did I beg you to go for a morning hike with me at Dogwood Falls growing up? You always turned me down. That cuts deep, Nat. Super deep. She laughed, enjoying the way the elation bubbled up from her throat and overtook the peaceful morning air. I'll carry the guilt with me to the grave. Yeah, right. His dramatic snigger tickled her, making her snigger along. But seriously, you sound good. Happy. The relief in his voice was unmistakable. Natalie slowed her car, preparing for the sharp right turn into the entrance of Dogwood Falls. I am happy. Things are looking up, cuz. I'm coming home.